6:30 a.m. right here. Time to see what the headlines are saying this morning. Please note that these headlines are only read as published according to the guidelines of these various media outlets and have got nothing to do with Nigeria Info. So ensure that in your reactions you have the facts, the details, and every information that you need. And when you do call in, please move away from your device so we can hear you clearly and have a good conversation. We are streaming live on YouTube and Facebook at Nigeria Info Abuja. You can go onto those platforms to join the show and be a part of the conversation. Let's get started with the headlines. Starting off with the leadership, Japa syndrome threatening Nigeria's workforce. Shows a breakdown right there of how many people have had to move and how the workforce is suffering. About 56% of Nigerians have considered migrating from Nigeria. 18 transmission towers vandalized in 6 days, according to TCN. Tanker explosion, scores killed, others injured, scooping fill in Niger. Niger tanker explosion, death toll hits 86. Tinubu, others mourn. CBN unveils strategy to tackle Naira commoditization. Despite 37% stock market gains, risk-averse investors stake 3.830 trillion naira in mutual funds. Poultry farmers charge federal government on lower tariffs, industry growth. Internet penetration rate rises to 45%. Private sector operators seek reforms to enhance quick business recovery. Petrol X depot price hike, Dangote refineries absorbs logistics costs for nationwide uniform pricing. SEC sets January 31 deadline for market operators registration renewals. Delta queries 2 engineers for issuing certificates for uncompleted projects. Land dispute, women, youths, police, protest arrest, harassment of palace chief by police. Let's move on now to what the Vanguard has got. High interest rate, manufacturers cut back on bank loans. Battle for survival, more children turn to refuse dump for daily bread. Rising international price of crude forces hike in petrol price. Passports, Nigerians in diaspora petition interior minister over printer crisis. Gunmen invade church. Should prophet dead during service in Ogun State. NDLEA nabs nursing student over alleged attempts to ingest cocaine. Federal government probes Niger tanker explosion as death toll hits 86. Trump vows to address U.S. crisis with historic speed at pre-inauguration rally. Edo battle of supremacy. How in a show of force APC seized PDP secretariat. And that's it on the Vanguard. Moving on now to what the Daily Trust has got as its major headline. $6 billion Mambila power contract deal. Obasanjo, Buhari testify in Paris court. Hardship, 70 million Nigerians to get 75,000 naira each. Niger tanker explosion, 86 buried, 43 hospitalized, others missing. Tax reform will destroy education. ASU. Over 18 transmission towers vandalized in 5 days. TCN. Badaru versus Danmodi. Supremacy battle puts Jigawa APC governance on edge. Delta senator set to quit PDP for APC. Will Obasa's impeachment alter Lagos 2027 dynamics? Is a question being asked on the Daily Trust. Let's move on now to what the Punch has got. NLC falls fresh petrol price hike, says federal government insensitive. The Redditors right here. Labor fears hike will fuel food crisis. Increase in line with rising crude price. Dangote. Labour Party crisis. Oti's caretaker panel drags Abure before Supreme Court. Mass deportation fear, border closure as Trump returns to White House. Edo Tribunal. Police tighten security as violence rises. Niger explosion. Tinubu, Buhari, others mourn as death toll hits 86. 89,000 Nigerians denied Schengen visa in 2 years, according to a report. Catholic Church suspends Delta priest over secret U.S. wedding. Arik Air shareholders tackle AMCON over 455 billion naira debt claim. Gaza. UN, others cheer as freed Israelis reunite with families. Let's move on now to The Guardian. Poses over checks, balances as federal government enforces council autonomy, funding. Gunmen assassinate cleric during church service in Ogun. Soludo unveils Anambra Homeland Security Law, new outfit. Dangote explains PMS X depot price adjustment. Telecom subscribers kick as Minister defends tariff hike. Africa's economy at crossroads as Trump's second coming stokes uncertainty. Procurement contract fraud accounts for 90% of Nigeria's corruption cases. Livestock Ministry to spend 129 million naira on egg production, technical support. Concerns as Lagos grapples with high crime rates despite CCTV. EFCC decries murder of officer, labels suspect as armed internet fraudster. And that's it on The Guardian. Time to get to your reactions right now. You can watch live on YouTube and Facebook at Nigeria Info Abuja. Once you call in, you have 60 seconds. So please go straight to sharing your thoughts. Numbers to call this morning, 080 9597 4869 or 0700 951 0000. You can also call or send a WhatsApp message to 08099930137. Good morning.
Good morning, Itodo.
Welcome, sir.
How are you doing?
I'm very well, thank you. How are you?
Oh,
Good. Thank you.
where is the angelic Gabriela?
Well, I'm here for now.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Nice to know. I get all the callers on the contribution. Solution to Mono. The headlines we read out in the end are usually that livestock ministry will need how much humongous amount to produce eggs, to the bureaucratic eggs. We are looking about the we are not serious as a country when government will introduce policies, unsustainable policies that will destabilize everyone who is benefiting from subsidy removal. And now they are hell-bent on imposing this tax reform. One of your headlines says children now are heading towards refuge dome for survival in this country. What is the image of the status of Nigeria in the community of nations? Our president, our dear president, was simplified in that gathering of sustainability. And the president of the world was saying that any policy that does not impact humanity and enhance life, it was a failure. And it was in the gathering of prominent worries. What is the essence of government politics that destroys income, destroying human life in Nigeria? Now, somebody is raising the pump price over. I cannot understand. All this country, we are not benefiting from our oil wealth. It is calamity.
All right. Good morning.
Good morning, DK.
Welcome, sir.
This is Prophet Michael Chibuke.
Go ahead.
Yeah. France coming back when you face deportation because of migrant law. Mystery. This migrant law is biblical. Let me tell us this. Personalities, churches, are to lead me to him for me to present the book I have. The book I dedicated in his name. But people said, there is something Bible says that the first shall be the last, and the last shall be the first. This book must get to him because it's a mystery book. Book of remembrance. Book of remembrance. Malachi chapter 3, 16 to 18. Read. Take a big breath and think of this.
All right.
This is what I have.
All right.
This book must get to him.
All right, Prophet. Good morning.
Good morning. How
Welcome. I'm very well, thank you. How are you?
My name is Mrs. Omeza. So the truth is, I told us that there's no magic that will make the inflation rate to drop in the first quarter because 2024 was not an easy year. The issue of this fuel is just reality. Once there's hike of price out there, it must affect Nigeria. It's market forces that will determine what will happen. The small drama we saw in December, it don't declare, but I'll leave it at that. Do you know that a bottle of palm oil is 2,500? There's scarcity of palm oil let me not say in the country because I live in Abuja. In Abuja.
Is that the 1 liter?
You don't even see.
Is it?
I don't know whether it reach 1 liter. When I one bottle with a column, or not be big person, they know whether it reach 1 liter. 2,500. And you don't even see good oil. There's scarcity. People selling can't even buy palm oil. But let me leave it. Let me not change your topic. That is the reality. Brother, my heart is aching me. What happened in Niger State, precisely DICO, is so painful. It's something that we could actually avert. Brother, what is really going on? Not long ago, it happened in one northern state that a particular tanker fell and people went to school before you know, a particular number of persons died. This particular one that happened in DICO, security agents, I will not mention the name so that they came that way asking people to go before you know, boom, all of them. The number they are giving is what they are giving. But people that went there will tell you what actually happened. Mama will carry baby that you want to go and scoop oil. Is it not the living that will go sell that fuel to make money? I just want to appeal to our religion leaders. When we finish preaching heavily above, we should also tell people earthly race.
All right.
That certain things, once you see it, you take off. Community people, advice, I don't know whether I don't want to talk about JC. JC is far away. This one happened in the north, then some people went there to scoop oil. What are we looking for? Poverty no say me go there. Now who they alive, they know whether regime good or not. Americans, I wish you all the best.
All
Donald
right.
Trump, welcome.
Thank you for sharing your thoughts right there. And a bit concerning because we've seen this tanker explosion play out one time too many. And by now you would assume or feel like we would have learned a lesson or two and, do right by the people. Now, the reason why many would go to that extent of risking their lives would be said to be poverty and the hardship in the land. But they should know what comes or what could play out if things were to go south. Now, the governor of Niger has, given a strict warning that tankers should not ply a certain route. Maybe, just maybe, it'll be a good decision for more monitoring to be put in place to ensure that these tankers are at their best when they're plying our routes, and not to do that maybe in the daytime or in areas that have this many population. What lessons have we learned? I mean, Jigawa happened a couple of months ago. What lessons have we learned from these things happening? We keep losing lives and we keep getting told things will change, things will change. When will these things change? How long do we have to wait to do the right thing? Let's see what you're saying on the live feed on YouTube and Facebook at Nigeria Info Abuja. You can go on there to watch the show live and be a part of the conversation. Moazu John Lasisi in Jigobari says the workforce will definitely suffer since the atmosphere is not conducive. And Benedict Mavwang says on the Jagba syndrome, that's what the government has forced many of its citizens to think it's an option. And he's sending that from Unewi. Good morning, Daniel Yanka from Guarimpa. And Dr. Mrs. Unma Lebar says every new day comes with heartbreaking news and not heart-mending ones. It seems that morality has fallen to its lowest ebb in this country. Chinua Achebe did not see much to say that things have fallen apart and we are no longer at ease. So this government had the mind to increase fuel again this early year. Why this insensitivity and taking delight seeing the masses suffer? Is the government really to blame for the increase in fuel price? I mean, subsidy is no longer being paid. So the market forces and international prices would be what controls the price. And are we surprised by the increase in fuel? This happens every now and again. It's something that we should be prepared for. NLC has come out to say this is not acceptable. Dangote has come out to explain as to why exactly the prices have changed or have to change. Are we surprised? Good morning, Goldinger Bere. The reported vandalism of cable right inside the Millennium Park close to the presidential villa that put many districts out of power for days speaks volumes, is what Ogbonna Ifoke says on Facebook. 132 kVA transmission line is not such a line that ordinary persons can tamper with. TCN needs to do a proper investigation to know what transpired. Good morning, Yusuf Ayajoko and Ozo Francis Amangunze from Amangunze. He says the rate of crime in the country is worrisome, outrageous, and nothing to write home about. The current economic hardship and hunger in the country has indirectly or directly led to the spate of criminalities in the society. May God help us, is how he ends his thoughts.
Hello, good morning, the King Itodo.
Welcome, sir.
Once again, my name is Salasi. I agree Ogbonna Ofoke and Yahaya, the head boy. What happened in Niger State? I can hear Buhari mourning and other leaders mourning. That road, hadn't been to conclude that road and do it as he promised that he will be willing to travel to Kaduna by road if that contract completed during his tenure. That tanker was following one way, and in the process of following one way, he fell down. And they brought in another tanker to transfer that fuel to the other tank, and people were busy scooping fuel, and in the process of starting the generator to transfer that oil, that's how the fire come about. Look at the number of people being killed. In fact, that number of 86, the people that were there on that Saturday, they said the number will be even more, still up to now, we are still getting the casualty. People are still dying almost since this incident happened. They say how many vandalized in how many days? I think something needs to be done about our security. This is Abuja, and Nigeria. Where is our satellite? That we need to get this equipment out to monitor our securities. We don't have, in fact, there was cameras in Abuja, all they have been vandalized. And these are what the government is supposed to do to put this in order. Thank you.
All right, thank you for sharing your thoughts right there. And good morning, Faiz, Ibrahim, and Benjamin Ayuba, both on YouTube, watching live. You can go onto the YouTube and Facebook pages right now to be a part of the conversation at Nigeria Info Abuja. To send a WhatsApp message, 080-9993-0137. That is the WhatsApp number. And do it to include your name and your location. You can also call that number using the regular phone call option or the voice call option. Good morning.
Yes, good morning to you, Dikini Itodo.
Welcome, sir.
Thank you so much. I greet all the callers and listeners of this radio station. Brother Salasi, I greet you. All protocols duly observed. Mommy C, I greet you. Very quickly, you see, this issue of this issue of people dying in numbers has become one too many in this regime. I'm not specifically pointing the fingers per se, but it has become one too many. Dikini Itodo. You see that people are dying from banditry, people are dying from accident, people are dying from going to collect palliatives on palliative ground due to stamping on the ground. People are dying of one thing or the other. Stampede, exactly. Now, the truth is, Dikini Itodo, if we are to look at this thing very clearly, there's something that is wrong. I feel I don't want to say the tenure or the regime has somewhat of a course or so, but please.
We saw similar scenarios also play out in previous administrations. So would you say that all of those also had a cause on them?
Itodo, put this one together in the last 2 years, in the last 1.5 years, it has become one too many. That is the number that is scary, Dikini Itodo. Yes, the number is why we are scared. Something is wrong. The regime needs to go back and look. We need to look at it very well with a concave lens, because it is becoming one too many and it's too recurrent. It's too recurrent. This number of people dying as they are using for sacrifice is becoming one too many. So we need to look. Let me tell you, Dikini Itodo, why I'm saying this is because if today, as me and you are talking, some people died just before yesterday, right? If today a tanker falls again, people will still rush there to scoop. That is what we are saying.
What could be the reason for this? Because people know the repercussions of doing that. They've been warned. They've seen people die. They've heard stories about tankers exploding. So why would they intentionally risk their lives to scoop a couple of gallons or liters of fuel or these products?
Okay, let me borrow a word from this guy, the senator for Kogi State. This one that didn't win, PDP. Remind me his name.
Dino Melaye?
Dino Melaye. Now, there's a word he used in one of his words that you play in one of your jingles. Say, you speak, you die. You don't speak, you die. Which one is better? You just speak and die. Now, you go and scoop, you die. If you go and scoop, you die. If you don't go and scoop, poverty equally kills you. So the best is you go and scoop, and then you just walk up by chance and see whether you don't. You might just survive it. That's what it is. So people almost have no choice. We have been crying about this thing. Look, there should be method to how you do roll out your policies.
All right.
It's becoming too hard on the poor people.
I have to let you go at this point. Thank you very much for sharing your thoughts.
Thank you so much.
All right. Have a great morning.
Thank you.
6:53 right here. In a bit to go on a breather, and at 7 o'clock it'll be time for the news for today. Let's see what you're saying on the live feed on YouTube and Facebook. And on the issue of the tanker, Print Lata Aaron Gata Sani says, I wonder why people are always not learning from what happened to others. It as well is how he ends that message. That's okay. And on WhatsApp right here, over 80 people dead in Niger tanker explosion. Is it ignorance or poverty that is causing this? That's a question that St. Jude in Gwagwalada is asking. When shall we start valuing our lives? All right, a good place to take a breather for now. When we come back, we get right into more of your reactions. But you can catch up on YouTube and Facebook at Nigeria Info Abuja.
This is Morning Crossfire.
is Nigeria Info.